Good afternoon, Olga Tomanova with us, with you, and we continue our work. So it is 719th day of the full-scale Russian occupiers' invasion of our land, and we will be talking about a very urgent topic that has required a new resonance within 2 last days about the movement across the Polish-Ukrainian border, and we have Volodymyr Balin, who is vice president of the Association of International Truck Shippers. Yesterday, as we know, all the media have reported and showed the video how the Polish agrarians have poured some grain from 3 Ukrainian trucks in Dorohusk. Really, we have seen this video. As far as I know, these 3 trucks are coming back to Ukraine. I don't know whether they have passed the customs, but I know that today some of the trucks with the same cargo have been coming through the control points, but the Polish custom officers say that they have to plumb this, to lock these trucks, and there will be huge questions about how the protesters have removed the seal and have poured out the grain. So we have, as the association, addressed the president of the European Union about this issue, and there are some other issues as well about the use of the seal, about the tires that they are setting on fire. So we are not talking about the peaceful strike now. There are some issues concerning the property and also some physical actions applied to our drivers. So I think, as far as I know, our officials have adopted the appeal as well. And I think that if anyone in Poland wants to damage the Ukrainian property, we will have to deal with them correspondingly. For us, this was rather sad, to put it mildly, because we know how this grain was grown. But what about the police? Were they there? Did they do anything? We know that the embassy of Ukraine in Poland said that they have addressed the police. So what do we know about the place where this happened? As far as we know, police was there. The police were there. They have launched a criminal proceeding, but we don't have any other information. Because you have mentioned the embassy, I want to tell you that, by the way, the embassy has confirmed this, that according to our embassy, there's 3 times more Russian grain going to European market than the Ukrainian grain. And this pertains both to Poland and to the grain that's going across the Polish territory. I think that this is just a political issue, and we are seeing the second economic front which has been launched against Ukraine. Yes, this is very sad, but what about other borders of Ukraine? I want to say that the issue is not about the borders. It is true that agrarians in many countries are now worried because of the fact that Ukraine has got some continuation of the quotas, and we have unfortunate cases when our cargo is being unloaded in France and Spain, and they're setting this cargo on fire. We remember that 3 weeks ago the same situation happened in Romania, although it seemed that there were no questions addressed to Ukrainian truckers or Ukrainian grain growers, and the questions there were addressed more to the local government, Romanian government. But you know, the agrarians there in Europe understand that Ukraine, when it joins, or if it joins the European Union, will be a serious competitor. And by the way, I want to remind you that the Polish strike has not ended. It's been suspended until the 1st of March. And if until the 1st of March the European Commission does not satisfy the demands of the strikers, the situation may again aggravate. And we had unofficial communication with Polish truckers, and today the Polish Truckers Association is the biggest community in the European Union, and in spite of the fact that we have 5 times as little trucks as they look at us as competitors. As soon as we join the European Union and we are members of the European Union, we are their competitors. We will be their competitors. However, at the moment, we don't pose any competition to them. Anastasia Kravchuk from Ukrinform, several questions. First, about the Polish border and the transportation across Poland. As we have constant problems on the border, is it profitable for Ukrainian truckers and transporters to launch some new routes and to bypass Poland? You know, it is a very good question, but we are not the addressees of this question. If the exporter sees that this is more profitable, it will be more profitable for us, of course. And many exporters and importers have readjusted their work and are going through other countries, because we understand that Polish border today is a risk. Even last month we knew that the agrarians were going on strike, and on Wednesday we knew that there was a statement in Dorohusk that said that there was no ban on transporting the grain. Now we know that they have blocked 4 crossing points, and they want to block also empty trucks as well. So I think this is a senseless situation if, of course, we do not take into account the politics. So for us, and we are talking directly about this to our clients, we are prepared to use other routes. This is more efficient than to stand in lines on the border. And as a rule, you have to stand on the border for 24 hours. However, now in Yagodin, for instance, they've been there since Friday, and they have to go to other crossing points. And then you have to change the documents. In Krakowec, almost 1,000 trucks are there because they didn't have a blockade on Friday and Saturday, so everybody went there. But this is a permanent situation. If a transporter signs a contract with a big company, I think that they are talking about this, about the other route. However, I think that there's not much logic in going through Romania or Baltic states, but if there's a need, then there's a need. And of course, then the price for delivery, for transportation will be raised. However, I think that our clients will treat this with understanding, taking the situation into account. If we talk about the losses, we remember that you have said that something like 350 euro is lost because of the inaction of trucks. And that's for just one truck. Are there any aggregate sums of losses? Because the strikes have been going on for almost 3 months. What do you know about this? As of today, we don't have clear calculations as far as the entire branch is concerned. We are proceeding from the calculation of the National Bank, who say that the Ukrainian economy, national economy, has lost $1 billion euro because of this. And that's a month. However, you have to understand that as soon as transporters and shippers understand that the crossing of the Polish border can last longer than usual, many of them have changed their routes, and they went through Slovakia and some other ways. So for the moment, we have some calculations according to the methodology recommended by our Polish lawyers, and we will provide an opportunity to all the clients to calculate these losses according to this methodology. Any other questions? Yes, there's a question about permits for shipping. This was one of the demands of the Polish truckers who have now suspended the strike, but if the European Union does some concessions and will return this system, will it solve this problem? Or if the Polish truckers, will they find some other justification for their actions? This is a very painful issue for us, because the markets have changed during the full-scale war. And the infrastructure minister of Ukraine has made an analysis which says that the number of trips and shipments to Poland and from Poland has almost not changed, although the general number has increased. If we talk about the market Ukraine-Poland, however, since 2016, 2017, when the Poles have lowered the quota gradually, then they offered the quota which was not to the satisfaction of Ukrainian shippers. I think that this is a continuous situation, and if we see the calculations according to which the Poles want to bring the quotas back, you have to understand that the war is on, and Polish companies do not come to Ukraine with their trucks because there's no insurance. Some insurance companies do not insure those vehicles. So I think that we do not have to return to the system of permits. And the Polish inspection has found some glitches. Like, for instance, you may go from the Baltic states with commodities without any permits, but if you bring some goods for yourself, then the cars, the trucks are stopped at the border. And we are waiting for the ministry to agree this point, because in the Ukrainian text you have one message, while in the English translation there's another idea. Another issue is about Germany. When they come from Germany, the Polish inspection requires a permit from those truckers, or the route list, which says that it goes to Moldova, for instance. And the Polish inspection does know that this has no sense. And this says for 2 years they were not requiring these permits while there were transit shipments. I think that this is not correct, and this is what I have already pointed to, the continuation of the economic war. Thank you, Mr. Volodymyr. Thank you for having joined us and publishing this information. This was Volodymyr Balin, who is Vice President of the Association of International Truck Shippers of Ukraine. Thank you very much. We're working together for our victory. Thank you to the Defense Forces. We are drafting our program schedule for tomorrow. Stay with us. Glory to Ukraine.